on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's Deshaun Watson's Texans going up against Cutler's Dolphins.
Thank you, Larry. It is a hot and humid afternoon as we get set for football in the southern part of the Sunshine State in Miami, Florida. This crowd a few minutes ago stirred into action at the side of their Dolphins emerging from the Hard Rock Stadium tunnels, and we are ready to go as the Dolphins get set to match up. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line with the Houston Texans. They find some open field here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. He was looking to get it to Jarvis Landry that time, and that'll bring up second down. Looking right, and not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Here's Moore, operating from the gun. And he rifles it complete, caught by Landry. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. A gain of 3, second down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. To throw is Moore. From the gun, he'll throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now the former 1,000-yard man for the Dolphins, Lamar Miller. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Second down following the run. Watson now to throw. He's letting this one go for Fuller. It's caught inside the 25. A huge play there for Houston. 42 yards.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Here's Watson setting up the screen for Miller. Sharp move, but can't find much space. Dropped just inside the 20. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's second down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big gain.
Clock running under a minute to go in a scoreless first quarter. On second down, here's Miller. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Here we go.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
The way this game is going, the way that they possess the ball on the other side of the field, you go 3 and out here, you might not see the ball again until the second quarter.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football. First and goal. Defense with their backs against the wall. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
They'll try the air now with Watson. Flush to his right. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
Brandon, I believe that they were in 4-down territory, and that's what they were thinking. But after the loss, I've got to kick the field goal. No way I'm going to go for it in this situation. But you know some of these coaches, they're extremely unpredictable, and they may go ahead and press it.
And we were scoreless up until this point in the second quarter. Now we finally have a little action.
Let's see where this action takes us. First quarter, no points at all. Now we've got our first score of the game. Well, does that signal that we're going to get more as we go along, or will it revert back to what we saw in the beginning of the game?
And out come the Dolphins now. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. They run again with Ajayi. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. More now. Looking for Stills here, and it's intercepted. Snags it for the pick, and he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We'll come back to Miami after this.
Here we go.
A first down carry now for Miller. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball...
To throw on second is Watson. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Anderson. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a good gain of 11. Sets.
Let's go. Ryan 38.
They'll try and run for it with Miller. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And they're going to go soft on the corners. And now it's second and goal. And they'll give Miller another crack. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's third and goal.
Come on, let's go.
A shotgun snap for Watson. And that is out of the back of the end zone, incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And his kick is indeed good, and that will make it 6-0. It's a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they get the field goal near the end of the first half to expand that lead.
Yeah, that's got to feel good, but they can't let up. Now on the kickoff, they've got to make sure they don't give up a big return or big yardage to set up the other team for one last chance to score themselves.
The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. See if they stay on the ground for second down.
Here we go.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2, now third down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And on 2nd and 10 now. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Now Watson throwing the out route incomplete. That's Anderson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. So the offense has it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Again, it's Miller. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Come on, let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Here we go.
They are going for it. Here's Watson. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. On 1st down, Moore. They set up the screen to Ajayi. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. A good first down call as the screen play gets him 9.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Now it's Ajayi. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other...
Moore now from the gun on Williams. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Damian Williams, 27 yards. And the Dolphins have tied it. Now they can take the lead with the extra point. Cody Parkey is on now for the point after. And that one puts them on top here in the 3rd. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And last time we saw them go for it in kind of an unusual situation. It's not like it's a 4th quarter do or die. They went for it, didn't get it. We'll see how that affects them this go around.
Partner, I'm wondering if we're starting to see the effects of analytics coming into play here, where people are studying the number of possessions, how many times you should go for it, what position it leaves your team in. Maybe we're starting to see a little bit of that creeping into the NFL game.
I think we've seen it in other sports, maybe into the NFL now as well. They'll run it again with Miller. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. Then he's got the completion to Hopkins. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, 69 yards. And the Texans are in for 6. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6 is an astronaut. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field, and they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Operating from the gun. Moore. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there, a 22.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Moore throwing on 1st down. Flushed out, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Whitney Merciless coming in from that outside linebacker spot. He gets him down for a loss of 5. Now Moore looking to throw on 2nd down. And he fires one incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what did you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Here's Moore on 1st and 10. Eluding the pressure. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. J.J. Watt able to drop him for a loss of 4. To throw is Moore. To throw on 2nd down. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Kevin Johnson. And the return will stop right around the 25.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who have had the receivers on lockdown.
Looking deep downfield. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 75 yards. And the Texans will add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down. Fresh set of downs here. From the gun, Moore. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off with great anticipation, and he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, 33 yards. And the Texans turn that interception into a touchdown.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit. But for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball, too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Now to return it, here's Kenyon Drake. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all, and it leaves them with 3rd and long. And you know, this is the time of game where these drives really, really start to matter. They got to make some moves.
He's going to let it fly. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
And Watson's going to throw it here. That escapes the sack. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep over the middle. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. The Texans on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
Let's go!
Watson hands this to Foreman. And he'll go down at the 28. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5.